Now let's add a shooter in yellow here. You have a square and then a barrel, like a cannon barrel. As you move the mouse pointer, the barrel follows. So let's design this one. So in the model, let's add a shooter class. Every game, pictures, objects appearing on this game scene should extend the game figure. The game figure defines several abstract method there, so we need to define those ones. So let's define some constants. The shooter, we will have the base size. So the base is a square thingy. So you have a base square thingy, and then from the center of the base we are going to draw a barrel. So this is a barrel, and this is a base. So let's define a few things for easy maintenance. Public final int base size. Let's define as 20 pixels. Public final int barrel length of the barrel. Let's have 20 pixels there. And then for a base, we are going to have a rectangle 2D of a float type. Let's call it base. And then for barrel, we are going to have a line 2D float type. Let's call it barrel there. When shooter object is created, XY location is given. We can forward the XY location to game figure parent. And then as to the base, let's create the initial location, rectangle to the float. So always in computer graphics, a reference is upper left corner, but we are going to use the center as the location. Then to the reference upper left corner should be x minus base size half. That's x location. Y location y minus base size half. That's the xy upper left corner, and then width and height should be base size there. So that's base, the square thingy, and then barrel. Let's draw the initial rendering of the barrel, line to the float. So barrel, we are going to draw x and y, the center of the base to same x, but y we just subtract barrel length. Then from the center we will draw upwards. Remember, downwards is increasing y, so from y if you subtract we go upward. So those are the base, the initial image to be drawn as a base and barrel there. And then let's define another constant, that public final int how many pixels you want to move by 4 arrow keys. Let's define as a move by key unit move. Let's define as unit move as 10 pixels by 4 arrow keys. That's what we're going to do. And then we come to rendering part. So how can we render is let's set G2 set color dot, let's have yellow color, and then let's have some thickness, so that's a set stroke method, and then give the basic stroke object with the thickness, that's the thickness of the line in a line or rectangle. So we do that one, and then draw method for barrel. G2 has a draw method, then rectangle line, those ones you can simply give the object into draw method, so then they are drawn. Now update is a little bit complicated one, so let's go back to the main routine, the main initialization of the game. So we onto the fixed object we added a mouse pointer. So this was a test for earlier cases, so let's remove this one, and then the shooter is something fixed objects, so let's add it into the fixed objects, add a new shooter, let's add it there, and then the location of the shooter, so let's import the class, and the location of the shooter we want to have it somewhere on the bottom, then that could be read from this way. So let's define as x and y. Then x is based on the main window. At this moment the canvas is not rendered yet. We know that canvas has a size, canvas has a width and height only after it's rendered. But at the initial moment, the canvas is not rendered yet. So let's get some size from window instead of a canvas. So there, from main class, we have a win object, which is window, and then get width is the current width of the window. Let's divide it by 2. And then as to the y location of the shooter, from main window get height, and then let's subtract a little bit, then use that one. Here what I'm trying to do is as follows. As you create the window as a J-frame, we have a window size there, but in the window we have a title bar, and then as we add more widgets on the window, in the bottom we may add some button on the top, we may add some widgets there. Then canvas is only the center part, exclude those things there. So the canvas size and the window size are different, so this becomes the canvas size. So in the main shooter, we are going to display somewhere here. So in terms of a width, if we assume that we don't add anything on the left or right side of the window, then half of the width is a good one. But in terms of a Y, the window height is from here to here, but canvas is sometime here. So depending on how many or what you want to add on the bottom of the window, the canvas size is smaller. So at this moment, just give some approximate location. Let me give a 100 for that, and then might work. If 100 is not too much, then you can adjust based on your finalized one. So anyway, on a fixed object array list, the first one is a mouse pointer, second one is shooter. Since we need to have access to those one from other parts of the program, so let's define some constant for that. Public static int index for mouse pointer is 0. The index for shooter is 1, so that's in game data fixed object array list. So that information there. So that one will be used as some other part. So at the initial point of the game, we have added a mouse pointer and shooter, and then shooter update is we need to change how we should draw the barrel like that. And then at this moment, the location of the shooter is updated based on the 4-arrow keys. So that will be handled shortly in the input event queue list. So anyway, let's take a look at, let's consider how to update this one. First, let me draw the case here. So here we have a base. Let me change color to red, yellow. And then we are going to draw barrel, something like this. So this is XY location of the shooter. And then somewhere here, suppose we have a mouse pointer. Then into this direction, so this is a barrel length, we are going to draw that one. XY location of the mouse pointer is given by looking at the mouse pointer object. So here in update, let's first get mouse pointer object, call it MP, mouse pointer. We get it from main game data, fixed object, and get. And then index is we have defined in main index mouse pointer is there, and this one we can typecast it to a mouse pointer type. Otherwise, get returns object type cosmic superclass there. No, the get returns a game figure type. As we take a look at the game data, the fixed object is game figure type, so game figure comes out. So, but we know that mouse pointer is there. Then with the mouse pointer, we can get the XY location of the mouse pointer. That is here. Let's call this one as a TX and the TY, which is a mouse pointer location. Then float TX is a mouse pointer location X, float TY mouse pointer location Y. So this is X there. Then we know that this is a barrel length. We have defined here. And this XY is the XY location of the shooter, which is a game figure XY there. So here is X and Y of a game figure. Then how do we draw the line? So to draw the line, we need to give a starting X and Y and an ending X and Y. So how do we do based on the mouse pointer is we compute the angle here. Angle of the line which pointing to mouse pointer. Here is a mouse pointer. So to compute the angle, we have this relationship. So at this moment, the tangent theta is this base, and then this is considered as a triangle. This is a height. So height divided by base is a tangent theta. So let's compute the angle. So angle in terms of a radian is tangent theta is h divided by b. So theta is arctangent of this one. So we have an arctangent library in math. Math has a arctangent 2 as a library there. Then the height is ty minus y is the height. So ty minus y, which is in game figure superclass, and then super location y, and then xy is x tx minus super location x is the one. So we have a radian. It's theta is there. Then the end pointer. How do we find the end point of the barrel is since we know theta, since we know the length, so end point is in xy is cosine theta is barrel length over barrel x. Barrel x is there. And then sine theta is barrel y over barrel length is there. So using those formula equation, we can compute the barrel end point of that. So float barrel y is barrel length times sine theta. Then here the sine theta converts to returns a double, but we are going to store in float, so we can change it to float. The result in float, and then barrel x is similarly barrel length times math cosine theta is there. So we have computed the barrel x and barrel y. Now with this information we can update the base and barrel. So in terms of barrel x is this barrel is in line 2D. Line 2D, the starting one is called x1 is super location x. So barrel drawing starting point is same as the shooter's location. Barrel y1 is a super location y, and then barrel x2 is a barrel x, and the barrel y2 is end of the barrel. We computed as a barrel y in the above. This barrel x and barrel y is the amount, the distance from the xy location. So this is a barrel x, and this is a barrel y. So we need to add a current location. So super location x, just add that amount. Y, same thing, super location y, add that amount. Then we can draw line from x1, y1 to x2, y2. The rendering is done over here. And then the shooter's reference location xy would be changed by pressing 4 arrow keys. So let's update. The base x is game figure x, and then we just half of the base size. The base y is location y, and then adjust half of the size because the drawing reference is always upper left corner, and then we just assume location XY is the center of the rectangle, so we have adjusted half of those one. So that's the update part. So at this moment, we didn't add the event listener for the keys yet, but the barrel should follow the mouse pointer. That's what we have done so far. So let's test up to that. So you can see that as I move the pointer, the barrel follows there. So let's add the key listener.